Who will Sofia face? Alex Alguacil or Tio Mitt, the man of the moment? 2 straight wins in Asia and in the Americas. He won in Tokyo, he won in Buenos Aires. He's here in Berlin in the semi-finals.
Well, I tipped him, didn't I, to go all the way again, because on paper he is just such a force. One thing to note about the last semi-final that we watched, and one thing to perhaps maybe go easy on Eterito, the sheer amount of games he's had to face today, and to stay right at the top level, concentration-wise, as an example, is such a hard thing to do, because if you switch off for a second at this level, you are punished, and that's what happened there. So perhaps, like you mentioned, for the World Finals, maybe if he can get a bit of a break, it might do him a bit of favour. Which
is interesting, given we're looking at Alex Alguacil, just 20. He's played the same amount of games because he won the co-op alongside Eterito. He's sitting pretty in his chair there, but that level of concentration is going to have to be paramount. Eterito couldn't go back-to-back, if you like, and he's playing the master of the narrow victory, Tio Mitt.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be Arsenal versus Arsenal. It's going to be Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, and Tio Mitt, again, is very quietly has gone through the competition.
He doesn't shout, he doesn't, you know, make a scene. He just steadily gets on with the job in hand. And yeah, just jumping back to Alex Alguacil and how many games he's had to play, and just the sheer time frame as well. Remember, we started this stream this morning, hence the reason perhaps why I've been inventing words as we've gone on today. We started at 10 AM German time this morning. It's now ticking on towards 9:30, and these players, more importantly, have had to focus for such a long time if they've been a part of the co-ops as well. So yeah, commiserations to Eterito for that, and possibly we'll see how Alex Alguacil, his co-op team compatriot, deals with the same situation now.
Alex, we know exactly how you feel, and actually I think you're probably in a good position to realise that keeping at that very top level is going to be very difficult, particularly against Tio Mitt, who has taken off his blue hoodie.
And he will punish you if you give him a chance.
Absolutely. Of all the players, and if he gets 1-goal lead, he is so difficult to stop. It is Paris Saint-Germain who are going to be mastered by Tio Mitt, the Frenchman, against Arsenal under the control of Alex Alguacil. And we're ready for action here. The 2 sets of players leaving the tunnel. What an opportunity here. Semi-final 2 to meet Sofia in the showpiece here in Berlin. Paris Saint-Germain get us underway. Tio Mitt, the champion in Asia, the champion in the Americas. Is he going to be the European king as well? Well, it's a very nice passes together already. Here's Rabiot, and now it's Di Maria. He began proceedings a long time ago with a 0-0 draw that we saw Tio Mitt against Eterito. And here he is again, through on goal. This could be the perfect start.
Oh, what a chance.
What an opportunity, just wide. And he must have thought he'd scored there, Tio Mitt, because the goalkeeper was out of the game and he couldn't take the opportunity, Neymar.
What is interesting about the opening 5 minutes here is that, like the first game, we saw Sofia out Eterito. Well, if you're looking at this, Alex Alguacil is inviting pressure from Tio Mitt, who usually is the player who's more reserved. So perhaps he's trying to play Tio Mitt at his own game and try and catch him on the counter-attack. We will wait and see, because it is Tio Mitt again with the ball.
Mbappe dispossessed on that occasion. Here is Cazorla. It's a lovely trick, but it was read well, and it's all Paris Saint-Germain in the opening 8 minutes or so. Pass was looking for Cavani. Arsenal now with Danny Welbeck. Oh, that's a fought for a moment, it was through. Do you know what? If that had been one of Alex's aerials, he would have been in.
Absolutely, he's used that so many times today, but he is in across the floor this time. And unfortunately, Aubameyang just couldn't quite pick out a man in the middle and was dispossessed.
One ball up to Edison Cavani, the matador from Uruguay. That must have been tight, because Neymar was offside, but had he not been, I think he would have been in.
Yeah, I certainly feel this is a planned approach from Alex Alguacil. Perhaps he thinks, if I attack Tio Mitt, he's going to catch me on the counter with his clinical form so far this year in 2018. It will be curtains for my chance of a final. So he is inviting the pressure. The question is, can he withstand the pressure as Tiamat looks to break through again through Cavani and now finds Mbappe on the left-hand side. Support from Angel Di Maria in the centre. Good defending in the end.
Well, we saw two of Paris Saint-Germain's fearsome front three there combined. Here's the third musketeer, Neymar, who swings it in. Free header off the post. So close to 1-0 Paris Saint-Germain.
Wow, the goalkeeper was in absolute no man's land. It was a heart-in-the-mouth moment for the fans inside that stadium. But luckily for Alex Alguacil, it comes back off the woodwork.
Well, it's history repeating itself because Alex Alguacil beat Neo Terrible Tank and rode his luck in the quarterfinals. And it's another Frenchman in Tiamat, and he's riding his luck here. But as yet, no goals, 0-0. Here come Paris Saint-Germain once more. They've been absolutely on top here. As Granit Xhaka feeds Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. There's an overlap with Henrik Mkhitaryan. He's got Welbeck in the middle. Plenty arriving as well. Lovely ball, lovely back heel. Outrageous goal from Alex Alguacil.
Wow, he's impressed with himself. He looked around as if I didn't even know what I was doing, and it somehow flew in. What a back heel that was, Chris.
Tiamat, the two-time champion already on the World Tour, is behind. You'll not see a better goal than that, I tell you what. Alex Alguacil can do nothing wrong. He strikes first, having soaked up the pressure. Let's just watch this again.
Yeah, it was absolutely majestic, and if you watch the teamwork, the lovely one-touch football, it was almost like the spirit of broken silence had come through into the 1v1s. It felt like he had extra players with him there. The way they all gelled together in that move, stunning finish as well to top it off, and yeah, another potential shock on the cards in this semi-final.
Two back heels. The second one ending up in the back of the net, and after all of the pressure from Paris Saint-Germain.
I was just going to say exactly what you said about 5 minutes earlier. Will Lightning strike twice as he rode his luck against Neo Terrible Tank? And yeah, it's happened again so far.
Now, fascinating to know what's going to happen here. Tiamat loves to get the lead and protect it. Now he's going to have to go and chase the game. Might just play into Alex Alguacil's hand as well. All of the stats would suggest that Paris Saint-Germain would be leaving, but a moment of brilliance. That, for me, that's my favourite goal of the day in this PES World Tour event in Berlin. And all of a sudden, Arsenal have a spring in their step as Aubameyang tries to chase it down and picks up the pieces. Chance here, another back heel, almost. I think it was Cazorla who would have been through. Instead, it's with Edison Cavani at the other end. Neymar off and running. Instant control from Neymar as we approach the 30-minute mark. Oh, he's got players rushing into the middle, including Cavani, including Mbappe. Neymar trying to play 1-2 with an Arsenal player. And Arsenal now can break. And what a chance this is. Aubameyang for 2-0. Alex Alguacil is in complete command now. He won the co-op round. Is he heading through to the final in the 1v1?
What a counter-attack from Alex Alguacil, and this is a real coming-of-age story for the guy who in the last couple of years has been to all the major tournaments and potentially, well, not potentially, he has dropped out of those stages. Now is he on his way to another final here, this time in the 1v1s. You felt that he'd taken one too many touches, but he just did enough. A lovely little chip. Well, what do we say? Another chip from Alex Alguacil. It's becoming a trademark.
It is, and so is that celebration from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, Tiamat. What a mountain to climb. If anybody can do it, it is him, given the fact he's been unstoppable on PES 2018. But a double blow, having dominated the game, and I bet he can't believe that he didn't go 1-0 up, and all of a sudden he finds himself 2-0 down. Absolutely,
another counter-attacking goal from Alex Alguacil, and like the first semi-final, we threw it out there as a question, will Tiamat be out-Tiamated? And that's exactly what has happened. Counter-attack has worked so well for Alex Alguacil, playing the Frenchman at his own game.
Yeah, until that as that second goal went in, he hadn't even had 40% of the ball, but he's looking for a third here. Oh, lovely header back. What a chance this is.
Stunning.
It's 3.
We may as well end the stream now, because we have seen quite possibly in this game the best goals in the round so far. This football is out of this world.
Tiamat cannot believe it. Alex Alguacil can't do anything wrong. Everything he touches turns to gold. Areola sums it up, thumps the post. 3-0, and surely, a place in the final for Alex Alguacil.
We mentioned Tiamat being on paper the best player on the planet at this moment in time. Well, Alex Alguacil is really giving him a run for his money. And that is absolutely world class. The one, again, we've seen it so many times with Alex, that he takes that extra pass. And this one here was the exact moment, the extra pass to open the angle in the centre when many players would have shot first time.
I thought it happened at first glance, but the header back from Aubameyang, because he could have gone for goal, but he headed it back to the edge of the box. That wasn't a defensive clearance. That was intentional. What a blistering opening 40 minutes. And Edinson Cavani and Paris Saint-Germain and Tiamat have a long, long way back. They get one here, though. Here is Neymar. No way through. And talk about not being clinical. If that was at the other end, it probably would have been 4, and it might be 4 still before the break. Astonishing display so far.
What is absolutely incredible to watch is that Alex Alguacil is doing what Broken Silence did in their final against Shadow Hunters and really taking the game. Of course, they won 3-0, didn't they, in a game that we thought was going to be close. This is exactly the same here.
It is. One last chance maybe before half-time for Paris Saint-Germain to get something to cling on to. Neymar. This will be the last action. And Arsenal win the header. And that should be half-time. And Alex Alguacil is 45 minutes away from the final. A near-perfect opening half. Well, the second half of the first half, because you have to remember that Paris Saint-Germain were the better team and missed chances at 0-0. But in this level of PES, you cannot afford to do that. How many times have we said it? But it isn't half true. Yeah,
it was a first half that was as near perfect as possible. And his game plan, the team management, the way he's played, has been nothing short of breathtaking so far, and deservedly has the 3-0 lead over the man who was already qualified through to the World Finals with 2,000 points from winning in the Americas and the Asia round as well.
Here is Yuri for Paris Saint-Germain. If he can concede 3 goals, he'll be confident of scoring 3 goals if he can get the first hit. Verratti for PSG. And now Di Maria, Argentina style, back to Verratti. Alex Alguacil happy just to sit back and soak up pressure. Meunier, not seeing too much of the attacking right back. Verratti again, going from side to side. Is there going to be an end product here after all of this possession? Di Maria again. Rabiot takes over. Oh, the brakes on here for Maitland-Niles. Onto Welbeck. Welbeck, Aubameyang. And now Henrik Mkhitaryan. A fourth, and it's definitely over. Good defending from Yuri. He kept it in play as well. Yuri charging forward. Is held up, but he picks the pass to Kylian Mbappe here. Mbappe maybe picked the wrong option, and it's Welbeck. In towards Aubameyang. Goalkeeper should get there.
A few hearts in the mouth moments there, wasn't it?
Seemed to dilly and dally and eventually dived on it.
But we are seeing from Alex possibly one, I would say, the best performance on the circuit this calendar year. Because don't forget, he is playing against the best player on paper in the world, and he's just torn him apart, hasn't he?
If it is Alex Alguacil against Sofia in the final, there's going to be some joyous attacking moves, because they both are brilliant in the final third, and we've seen them both score brilliant goals. Well, that was poor there from Alex Alguacil, and Mbappe just about keeps it in play. Neymar to Cavani. Cavani has a great shot on him. Elects not to use it on that occasion, and Arsenal will clear. Henrik Mkhitaryan's dispossessed. They've just got a little bit sloppy, but they win it back again, the Gunners. And this is a spellbinding move. Oh, look at this football. Aubameyang.
Oh,
if they score
wow.
here, that will top his earlier goal.
Wow,
Aubameyang!
what a goal.
Magic.
Alex Alguacil, take a bow. What a finish. And we are definitely now, barring an absolute catastrophe, going to see Alex into the final to face Sofia. And Tiamat cannot believe, even though he's qualified for the World Finals already, he knows that he's going to be facing Alex Alguacil there, and he is definitely a man on top red-hot form. What is interesting in that final now, if it is going to be that final, is that Sofia plays an attacking style of football, and Alex Alguacil has used that counter half against, well, not the half, the whole game against Tiamat, so it will be probably same again for Alex, you would feel.
I think you're spot on. The tactics are going to be like that, which only adds to the intrigue. Here is Rabiot. Tiamat's reign is coming to an end. Champion on two of the continents, not in Europe. Cavani might get a consolation here, and even that doesn't go in. When it's not your day on PES, it's not your day.
Absolutely the case, and you've got to feel a bit for Tiamat, but nevertheless he will hopefully learn from this, and going through to the World Finals he'll have to learn from this, because like we've said, he's come up against a player who is happy to sit there and allow him to attack, and it's something we don't usually see. A lot of the players on the tour play the attacking, expansive, open, goal-scoring football, which Tiamat likes to play against. If he plays against someone like this on their day, who sits there and happy to hit them on the counter, he's not had an answer for it. He's going to have to find one.
It's going to be interesting as he goes to the World Finals, whether more and more people play like this against him, because there's now a blueprint. Oh, they've carved open here. This must be the moment for Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, it's another miss. And it won't matter if they score anyway, given they're 4 down, but Tiamat will not believe that this one's gone wide from Verratti. How has he not scored?
No, he's snatching at chances now. The game has well and truly passed him by. And yeah, it's a shame to see, because he's been absolutely brilliant on the tour so far and has rightly qualified, and probably will still qualify, you would think, as top from winning the opening 2 rounds in the Americas and Asia as well. But now he's looking over his shoulder, isn't he? Alex coming up behind.
He certainly is. It's going to be a great final. Referees played advantage here. Eventually we'll bring it back. The challenge on Edison Cavani. Booked Laurent Koscielny for, I think, the 25th time today. He's been a man mountain for almost everyone who's played with Arsenal. We're almost into the last 11 minutes, and who would have seen this one coming?
Yeah, not me. And of course, just going back to the teams choosing Arsenal, of course, the Arsenal players will probably be ringing around inside your dreams this evening, because they certainly have been the names who have been called out the most. But yeah, Tiamat on his day has been brilliant this year. I certainly wouldn't have picked it. I thought it would have been a tight affair, and B, I felt that Tiamat might just nick it because he's possibly a bit fresher. After certainly seeing Eterito struggle to focus on that semi-final before, but Alex Alguacil didn't have the same fate.
No, he didn't, and he scored at the right times. Eterito missed some opportunities. Here is Maitland-Niles. Can they make it 5? Santi Cazorla leading the charge here. He didn't really have anybody in support. Kylian Mbappe is there as we go into the final 5 minutes. Verratti, I think he deserves Tiamat a consolation here.
I agree, yeah.
And Verratti's not going to get there. Petr Cech, it's going to be Arsenal versus Arsenal in the final, which is apt given how many of those games we've had today here in Berlin.
Yeah, this is a cruel game at times. If you are off your pace for the 10-minute game spell, you can be well and truly thumped. And Alex Alguacil from Spain has shown something that we weren't necessarily expecting.